Hi everybody. Now that you have completed assignment 2, I'm going to provide an overview of assignment 3. In assignment 2, you completed a community needs and services assessment, and in assignment 3, you are going to be taking the next step and developing a community needs and services plan, which will be due Sunday of week 6. But I wanted to get this overview to you sooner so that you have time to get started on working on this assignment. This assignment will be worth 10% of your final grade. And again, in part 2, you completed a community needs and services assessment. And now you're going to be developing a logical plan to deal with the community's problems that you started to identify in that last or first part of the assignment. So in assignment 3, your plan is going to include 3 key components, and you're going to use headings for each of these. The first part of assignment 3 is going to be a community summary. So here you're going to provide a brief, about a half a page or so summary of the community and the problem that you're targeting. So essentially this is an abstract of what you presented in your community needs analysis in part 1. So just again, a brief half page for this piece of the assignment. The second part of the assignment is a literature review. For this assignment, you're going to provide a review of the literature with no fewer than 10 references. And in your literature review, what you want to be looking for and what you want to discuss are interventions that have been used in other communities to deal with the same problem that you are addressing, or similar problems that you are addressing. Of the 10 references, you may use up to 3 from class readings, but you'll also need to find at least 7 new references. And these references should be from reputable sources. So you're primarily going to want to rely on academic journal articles, or possibly reports or information from organizational websites or government websites. So again, academic journal articles, reports or data from organizational websites or .gov websites. Shouldn't really see .coms so much, and definitely no Wikipedia. If you have a question about a source, feel free to email me, and we can talk about whether or not it's a reputable one to use for this project. Okay, so the third part of this assignment is the community intervention plan. And here you're going to provide a description of your plan to address the problem. This description, you should include a theoretical model that is going to guide your plan, and you can draw on the course material presented in weeks 3, 4, and 6 to do that. I will be posting a couple of additional short videos that further discuss theoretical models. I did not include those videos in weeks 3 and 4, though you did have slides for them, but I will include some additional videos with narration to give you a little bit more perspective on applying theoretical models to develop community interventions. I didn't want to weigh everybody down earlier in the semester when you were focused on your last assignment, so I'm going to do it now while you're working on this one when you're actually going to be using it. So again, your community intervention plan should include a description of your plan to address the problem, including the theoretical model that's guiding your plan. And it should also include a description of at least 5 specific advocacy or organizing activities that are going to comprise or make up your intervention. So you're going to have an intervention that's guided by a theoretical model and is going to include at least 5 specific advocacy or organizing activities. And these activities could have short, intermediate, or long-term goals. So maybe you're looking at the issue of homelessness, and one of the issues, one of the problems is a lack of shelter beds in your community and the need for more shelters. And maybe one of your long-term goals is to change the existing policy in your county so that there's additional funding for the creation of more homeless shelters. That would be a long-term goal, right? That's not going to happen overnight. There are a number of steps you need to take to be able to get there. So maybe you would start out with a short-term goal of reaching out to community organizations who are serving the homeless to develop a committee to begin to look at this issue. So again, you're going to be looking at short, intermediate, long-term goals. Your 5 activities can involve any of those types of goals. At least 2 of the 5 activities should be targeted at the media, local or state politicians, or other power interests in the community. And this should include a plan to write a press release and a plan to write a letter to the editor of a local paper or a brief to a politician or other power interest. You don't need to actually write a press release or a letter or brief at this point. That will be the next assignment. But your plan, at least 2 of your 5 activities, should be to 1, write a press release, and 2, a letter to the editor of a local paper. So you would, in developing a community intervention plan, include those 2 things and maybe a blurb about what you might include in the press release and what you might include in the letter or policy brief. But again, you don't have to actually write those 2 pieces yet. Finally, your paper should again be jointly written by the partners in your group, whether that's 2 of you or 3 of you. It should be between 5 to 7 double-spaced pages long if you're working in a group of 2. It should be at least 7 to 9 pages long if there are 3 of you, so that there's an equitable distribution of labor. And again, those page numbers do not include the cover page or the reference page. And you will upload 1 submission from each group in the upload section of the assignment. And again, here is the rubric for the assignment. So you see the 3 key components that need to be there: your community summary, your literature review, and your community intervention plan. And again, of course, you want to make sure that you're using APA format, that you're adhering to the page count, that you're using headings and subheadings for the 3 major sections and their subsections, you're using appropriate citations in APA format. If anyone has any questions about any of the pieces of this assignment or needs any further explanation, absolutely feel free to email me. I will be glad to answer any questions that you have, and I really look forward to seeing everybody taking this next step and reading where your projects go. Thanks, and I'll talk to everybody soon.